How's it going, beautiful people? I'm Oz, and welcome back to another episode of What Remains of Edith Finch. Basically, it's a story of learning our family history, which is so interesting, and I think it's something that everyone should do. My mum's dad's dad was actually adopted, so a few years ago, long story short, Mum went back in our family history and found out so much interesting stuff about where we came from. We originated obviously from England, and we had a sheep farm here in Tasmania. This is like 5 generations ago, and we used to own most of like a couple of suburbs that are out in the country. And you know, because of most families, they have 7 kids, and then their 7 kids have 7 kids, and that's why there's nothing left. There's like no, but it's just so interesting, and I implore you to have a look into your own family history and see what you can find, because it is quite amazing. This one's a little far-fetched. Molly seemed to be some sort of cat person, then a shark thing, and then other things, and just 8 people as a thing to do. I don't know. Really interesting. But let's continue. So this looks like, we got someone named Calvin, who also was 11 years old when he died. What, the front door? That's scary. It looks like, oh, and Sam, hang on, there's a Sam, who was 33 when he passed.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin. And that he never talked about him.
This is cool.
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom, and he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore he'd never be afraid again, and he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready! Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible.
Oh,
Maybe
no.
if I hadn't said that.
Calvin! I'm not gonna tell you again!
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up.
I don't like this
Then
feeling.
maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother.
Oh, I don't like this. Do we keep going then? Oh. Oh my god.
The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Whew, that's full on, man.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
Grandma advised you not to.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room. Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
Oops. Poor. Who wants a house like this? Apart from all the curses and stuff, but like... friggin' hell. Wow.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd
Yeah.
obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
That's what he said? No, it didn't work out. Oh!
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star. I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
Would have been pretty shit. She was only 26. No, she was only 16. Why is she die so young?
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch.
Not very nice.
As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room.
What?
So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
I don't like this.
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
I'm just hoping that it's not some fucking horrible prank. Oh.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Oh dear!
Dickhead.
Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Good.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Music's good.
Walter, are you there?
Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. And whoever he was, he couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
That night, she played her part beautifully.
She's only like 16.
Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned.
Oh.
He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
Did we just kill someone? Fuck, he's not there. Where is he? Fuck.
The hookman had vanished.
Fuck.
She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
Fuck. No!
Someone at the door was dying to speak to young Barbara. At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
What?
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter?
Yeah.
Hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear.
The fuck?
Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
You're so funny.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
Still doesn't make sense what happened to her though, like... It's pretty fucked up.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
Yeah. Yeah. But now we know what to do next. Which is to go down to the music box and make it play. And continue to make it play until such time as it gives us the bloody key. Wouldn't you have put it somewhere else though if you didn't like it, like if it had someone's ear in it? Come on. Yes, thank you. Creepy. I wonder what happened to Rick then. I guess surely the next story would be Walter. Oh no, it looks like it's gonna be Sven.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
Off limits. Get it, because that's what they used to call me. Off limits. It was just too much of a mouthful.
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages.
Packages.
I thought maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
Far out. Do I hear a generator? Fucking hell! What?
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could. If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane.
Sane. You call this sane?
Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything. Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly.
Could you believe living in a
day,
house for so long and not
everything
realizing
just
all of this stuff was in there?
Stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave. while I still can.
Oh my god. It just doesn't stop. How could they have built all of this? I feel like that is the question in the Matrix. You know, how can they build all of these tunnels and all this sort of thing? Like,
I know it's out there somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara and Molly. And Calvin.
and Calvin.
Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food.
Yeah.
I don't mind if I only have a year left. Or a month.
Or even
or
a day.
single week. I'd be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
So what, you never got to meet him?
I'm sure
then?
my mom was trying to protect me.
If she was trying to protect you, why would she give you a key after all this time? Doesn't make any sense.
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter. But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding.
Oh, geez, you're only asking that question now? My goodness.
I don't want to make the same mistakes she made. Trying to bury something that's still alive.
Damn, this story is way deeper than what I ever imagined.
Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe 2, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
Why did
I
Joseph
don't know if I should
freeze?
even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me.
Maybe. I like the totem pole thing.
But I thought you should know about your family.
Oh no. What?
And the history you're a part of.
Is she talking about a kid? She's not pregnant, really? Really? Which way am I going? Am I going out to that glowy thing out there? No. I'm gonna go up here.
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now.
You have no idea, sweetheart.
I think if people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
Where is this taking us?
And when you look at the house, at that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness. Any of it seems possible. I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
Yeah.
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils were mine, and 2 had been my fault.
Jeez.
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
Gosh, she died just after her birthday.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away.
I guess she was always in it, wasn't she?
She could see it poking out of the water at low tide. Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night. Edie's side was always easier for me to understand.
How come?
But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
All of them so freaking young.
She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us. We never found Milton's body, so my mom insisted we were putting up a monument, not a tombstone.
I get that.
There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself.
I hope this thing is still stable. I don't want to die. I am literally too young to
But
die.
looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Called it. I think that was pretty obvious though when she said, you know, yada yada yada. Do we go up there? No. How old are we? Oh, there. Duh.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common. They were both pretty intense. Sam
so
spent
he-
his life shooting
yeah.
photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
Might end it there, guys. Like, favorite, and subscribe. I really hope you enjoy this episode, and I'll see you shortly in the next one, okay? Take care now. Bye.
Lost in his imagination.
Say that again. What's this green ball here for? Whoa! Oh my god!
Whatever it was, he saw.